Welcome to the first digital podcast. Your host, Brian the First, Ozebula, Siye, Digital Nansika, Tabang, Umxhosa. The podcast offers an array of conversations with your favorite personalities, YouTubers, entertainers. So, Khabulap Ongafi. There's a well of knowledge at your disposal. This is the first digital podcast.
Hey, yo, this is Mtsako. Welcome to another episode of the first digital podcast. We're out here in Nomzama Business Center, Blvck Africa clothing store. Come with me. Yo, welcome to another episode of the first digital podcast. We're out here, Blvck Africa clothing store, apha in Nomzama Business Center. This is Mtsako Digital Nansika, and I'm in there, Moose Zebula, apha camera. We are out here, Blvck Africa store. Now, nenye visionaries, but was introduced, but according to him, he's a visionary, game changer, innovator, slash, yeah. So yeah, and let's introduce it, kwi audience yet.
Oh, sure, I'm Siye. Siye Mtsako, founder of Blvck Africa, co-founder.
Okay, sure. I went through your social media page and I checked the Facebook. It's written, Blvck Africa was founded by two visionaries. And you are saying you are a co-founder. Who's the second founder?
Thandisile Fakela.
Okay, Thandisile Fakela. Okay, sure. As well as to me, like you are game changers because there has been a lot of abantu involved with clothing. If we land like from a back, there has been the first clothing item that went viral, mhlawumbe Strand or apha region sihlala kuyini ikhumbulayo. It was mhlawumbe you remember Strand rocks? Strand rocks. A design ibhalwe Strand, ibe nenkukhu, ibe rocks pha ezantsi. Yeah, bio yeah. That was the first one that went viral and yaziyo yabo. Then came abanye, but when the Blvck Africa came out, ibrand yenu stood out. Offers new brands, that's why the city is game changers, So yeah, like why the name Blvck Africa? Because we do know of Africa, but you chosen like to say Blvck Africa, So yeah.
Okay, so just to give you background, sure. Blvck Africa was started in 2016, then Nazi designs like back in 2014, So and that's design Ongindo. It was actually I was supposed to Nikalo Guam, but the night there were three at the time. No Kevin was part of it. But once we went formal, and then you went to do other stuff, and then Sibai two no Tansi. But yeah, the name I remember Glonyagalo. I was listening to the album. It was still Reverb Nation album Mashai. Sure. Mashai Putko. What was it? The Black Excellence Show, ne? Yeah, there was a track called African Lords, Okay, sure. So that was the initial name, African Lords, the clothing brand, But then as time goes on into designs, I found that and as what did happen was a long time ago, and then they're playing with Blvck Africa. But yeah, the black really stood for not just for a race, the black race. It stood for the black represent or power, yabo, authority, mystery, yonke loo nto, yabo. So that's what black actually stands for. This night in your t-shirt, that's why I'm coping. It actually had a definition of black, yabo, in black.
I think about it as Azania.
No, ikona enye ne, it's like people in dictionary, not dictionary, go Google so black, and then it says how you spell black, yabo. And then it says black represents power, authority, mystery, Africanism, yonke. So yeah, black really stands for that, and we stylized all I knows are black and made the AV yabo black, yabo. So that's the mystery part out of it. Abu is about, okay, what does this mean? So actually learned. So yeah, it's based on that. It's not just about being black. It is part of it, but okay, also black represents other stuff, yeah, about the color black, yeah.
Okay. No, utiba black means like izinto ezininzi, meaning yeah, not just ba mnyama as in abantu abamnyama, yabo. So yeah. And you also mentioned ukuba when you were designing wawune concept different now but ke ngoku waphuma ne-concept ethi Blvck Africa, yabo. So ndicela ubuza, what are the roles ke ngoku apha eBlvck Africa? Are you the designer, or designer baninzi, or is there a team of designers njalo njalo, yabo? What are the roles apha eBlvck Africa?
I would say in the designs, I do all the designs, yabo. But because we do also other businesses where apho abanye ba strong kwezinye izinto, yabo. So mostly in the Blvck Africa, I would be the umdo in charge, or yabo, in the and in those designs don't only just come from me, even the customers by okay, no, because now I wouldn't say in the fashion design anything about, because that's a profession itself. So I wouldn't disrespect the Banyabandi's with fashion design. We didn't even study for it, yabo. So, but you know, it's the people's brand, man. Any younger, even the marketing, people market our things. So I wouldn't say I'm the only marketer, yabo. I'm the only designer, because these new brands also inspire us in terms of designs and stuff. So, yeah, boy, hello. Okay.
So yeah, the phone. Ute ibrand iqale nini kanene? 2014.
Yeah, and then registered in 2016.
Yeah. So how old is the brand now?
So if you're starting from 2014 until...
You could be calculating.
8 years.
8 years. Okay, sure, 8 years. Mtsako, working in maths fit. So it's 8 years old, almost a decade.
Yeah, because... But as ban Siye, the first 2 years were very being done sense as a hobby, be very informal, and even in the basis ends our basically perfect, not even now was perfect, but 2016 when I started my momentum and actually see registered business and everything. So if we are bala, I'll say we start from 2016, which is now 6 years, yeah.
No, over, so ngoza niqala, yabo, because ndiyacinga, yabo, xa uqala brands zininzi challenges osifisayo, yabo. Ni brand eprintayo, ne-embroider. Ngoza niqala, yayizeziphi mhlambi i-challenges enizifeyisa okanye imingeni eniyifeyisa, and ngoku senilapha like 6 years later or 8 years later, 8 years later, yeah, zeziphi i-challenges enizifeyisayo? Ndiyacinga azifani ngoza niqala nangoku, yabo. Mninzi umahluko, yabo, because ngoku ne-online store, ne-physical store, yabo. So mninzi umahluko, and ndiyaqonda ngotyaza niqala naningenazo like i-pressers zenu, yabo. So zayizeziphi ezinye za-challenges enaninazo ngoza niqala, and zeziphi challenges eninazo ngoku?
Yeah. So uqala kwethu ne, we didn't have anything, so we just go on we post designing mock-up, yabo, and then we post it on social media. So they will do orders from power, yabo. So we don't have a stock, like any stock. So I build anjalo, I raise anjali funds to actually buy more stock. So it's posting mock-ups, like digital t-shirts on Facebook or whatever, Instagram and WhatsApp, yabo. And then from there, we started generating malikanjal, started orders. Some sitting is skip a sprint fast, and be sprinter bandu yabo. And I remember, like, even this kind of moto, started sprinting kailicha. We take 3 taxis because nangela xesha itaxis zihamba into yazo yabo. So that was part of the challenges to like middlemen. We used to always have a middleman. If it comes to printing, if it comes to utunga, if it comes to anything, yabo, funeke bekhona middleman, yabo. So now we're trying to cut off yonke lonto. So we also do our own printing, or and it's also a service now. Sikwazi printela nabanye abantu pizza izinto ze-Blvck Africa ne. So yeah, the challenges was really just that, and then the website was not really meant for income making, was to just professionalize and creating some sort of authentic in there. So even if search, it's there. Because I learned that, but at least a website, it's like your ID. It's currently off right now, but say redesign, say launch, I think month in December. But yeah, that's that and shit, and yeah.
Okay, sure. No, so you spoke of the website, which is the online store, ne? Yeah. So in the actual, because niqale apha Strand ibrand yenu, and nayifumana support from abantu balapha ekuhlaleni, and I also have item endayiqalayo uyithenga. I think yayi-caps yayi stonewash yellow, yabo. Item yami eqala own eBlvck Africa, yabo. So ngolo hlobo nizama ukuthi abantu base Strand ne-surrounding areas bani support, yabo. So from there ke ngoku yeyiphi into enizawuyenza uku-appeal to other communities, yabo. Uyatsho mos uyimentionishile online store, which is luhlobo abantu abangahlali apha abanoyibona ngayo ibrand yakho, yabo. So which other ways, yabo, are you guys planning to appeal to other brands, to other people outside of the community, yabo? Besides the online store.
So I would say social media is the easiest part, yabo. But we've once tried any indo where we spane reps, yabo, we res, yabo. So let's say a wusu in Mtata, NMJ, whatever, about human NMU. So we'd have e-sales reps pa banabas things and then they would get commission imbahla things. So we were really doing just that, about 2 million impahla, rather than sending each item a Durban, whatever, 2 million, one. We say, okay, kukho umuntu wethu ase repeat yase Durban, which sawuthumela yena zonke izinto ne, and then inafumana commission of that, and also create some sort of imali for abantwana basereze yabo into ezinjalo. So there was one of his strategies zethu, but I'm trying to bring that back now kuba isikakhulu abantu ngoku izikolo they're working off campus yabo into ezinjalo. Ne website when we started it, bine traffic needs when we were still starting it. But yeah, man, iskakulu, after we got the store, we really relax in terms of reaching abantu kude, because people knew us from the angle. Abantu was order from anywhere and say Korea. So yeah, so one of the strategies is for us to implement in terms of going forward. Yeah.
No, and the powerful kakhulu ezi strategies mentioned, because abantu like students ngabantu aba influential kakhulu, because ngabantu aba ngizoyibe kanjani, ngabantu aba vibrant, bathanda impahla njalo njalo. So easy to sell clothes as a student, yabo, and to also make some extra cash for yourself, yabo. So yeah, bro. As we've mentioned, ke ngokuba nizamile uappeal to other communities ngezinye indlela, yabo. So ingayiphi ke ngonye indlela to stand out from ezinye brands, because good design yenu nisebenzisa like i-map of Africa most, yabo. Over the years abantu baye bayisebenzisa kakhulu, yabo. And at that time ngona niqala zazimbalwa i-brands zaziyisebenzisa. I don't want to lie, yabo, zazimbalwa. But over the years abantu baye bayisebenzisa kakhulu, yabo. So ingaba mhlawumbe first of all nina iqaphela loo nto ukuba okay abantu abaninzi bayisebenzisa ngoku, and nizokwenza njani to stand out ke ngoku kwezinye zezi brands, because bayisebenzisa nyana abantu, wherever you go bona okay i-design ethile yabona i-design yomuntu, then ibe nayo la logo, not i-logo but imap yase-Africa, yabo. So what are the plans you have in place, yabo, to stand out, ningafaniswa nezinye brands, umuntu ayazi xa ibona i-Blvck Africa leya, yabo.
I mean, like, it has come to a point where there was quite new brands like born by the Blvck Africa, yabo. Ibe ingiyo yithi, yabo. Zininzi knockoffs. besike sazama uyilandelela safumaniseka yo isejoburg small street and hayi ke pha you'll never get the person ozenzayo yabo. So but I think every clothing brand will have londo once it gets popular, even on Nike. These knockoffs, yonke londo yabo, people will try to imitate, but you know how abantu respond to anything yabo. So I feel like even if thina singayikeep or the African brand, abantu bazayazi. I feel like londo, and once bantu baqala ukukopa lena sikhupha enye thina yabo. And our name sticks out because like they still want to know about what does Blvck Africa mean. Yabo. Even ne logos yet, we don't have only one logo yabo. We've not the original one which has stayed. Yeah. So some sensitive variations is ours and stuff like that. But in terms of even if most kupa any which is completely different is ngabena map, people will still copy nale, so it's all about just staying fresh and yabona bani chincha all yeah.
Okay. I think ngalanyaka I think 2020 ngoba be COVID nake nabona ngathi ni host sessions ngathi kuyadishaywa njalo. Yeah, so ingaba la period yan affect kanjani and yintoni lana nizama uyenza ngela xesha because ndancinga into right mina leya kuba ndibe nazo sessions kube ku DJwe and stuff ingabi one dimensional yabo ya ukwazi ba uzisamehlo amaninzi yabo if unothanda uDJ and uDJ uzabe DJ yapha then they're going to tune in babona okay there's a new t-shirt that I like back with the store yabo. So yan affect kanjani i-COVID and yintoni lenza uyenza ngokuya kwangathi kuya DJ ngathi ku sessions and hostayo apha.
So we shop talanga sine shop, we had the shop 2019 and I remember klonyaka lo kakhulu things yabo. We had the shop in March yabo. And then when they get lootings just 2 weeks before sivule yabo. So we couldn't open savula in October in the same year yabo. And then we operated until like, because if you remember COVID, it qale late 2019, early 2020 yabo. So we only operated for 4 months and we need to shut down again yabo. Sivale. But what we did being on focus on online yabo. Bilapo based for traffic online in social media in terms of getting orders and stuff yabo. And abanye abantu basazi you through WhatsApp you still print out the imbadu app. So in the sessions app as a DJ, even that we are really not allowed yabo to abantu bangena abantu baphandle. So be into nje besenzayo just to keep izinto going yabo and sipush like plus ne ezo sessions ku YouTube will also promote imbahla yabona while abantu ba DJ yabo. So it was just based on that. So there weren't any other people allowed in the store because of COVID and stuff, restrictions. But it has hit us very hard in terms of abantu abanamali buying clothes luxury uthenga into xa kuphele enye, you don't just go buy imbahla yabo. So that's when we now started focusing more on uprintela abantu imbahla, and there is still a market for abantu abathengayo because basekhona abantu abasebenza, basekhona abantu abanemali, because our clothes don't come cheap also, and now we focus more on quality than uhlisa price and then giving you shitty clothes or imbahla ezingekho quality yabo. So yeah, so ilondo. But now, at least we pick up. People are getting jobs again. But COVID is better, because as I said, we only operated 4 months before COVID, and we were doing very well before then. But we see the after effects of the COVID, even after COVID. But yeah.
Brand. Ithanda kakhulu lando you mentioned ishileyo kuba over the years nanikade niprint izinto zenu but nabona ke ngoku opportunities ba singaprinta nezinto zecawa singaprinta nezinto zemibutho singaprinta nantoni na if ufuna ukucustomize impahla yakhe angeza yabo, which is a very innovative way of maneuvering through like challenges that nizifumanayo yabo. So yeah, so ndicela ubuza sisekule point yo collaborate yabo. So ingaba ke ngoku zikhona injongo nenazo zo collaborate mhlambi nezinye creatives or nezinye artists mhlambi nxamanisa umzekelo mhlambi apha kwisitore senu nibe nazo ezinye iimpahla zabanye abantu not besides not nje iBlvck Africa for instance manisa umzekelo uphilayo mhlambi sisifumane items zika-aphiwe kapa apha or sisifumane items I think KP sapusha i-match mhlambi sisifumane nezabo apha so or i-collaboration in terms of mhlambi nebuyisela idea yokuba you're going to host mhlambi artist or you're going to host mhlambi a DJ so that abantu bayazi ba no Africa like the physical store yabo kubekho like yalo buyithetha to keep things going ba abantu babe in tune ba okay kukho match entsha njalo njalo yabo ngaba zikhona mhlambi plans eninazo to collaborate nabanye abantu abekule business kuyo or to collaborate nabanye abantu abazi artist or creatives
I mean we set up a shop, it's inside the center, so also we close by as in your shop, so it's very hard for us to do any some sort of events in the app, and in a shop it's quite small, because I think the best event by rights will be also having like a container outside, where we can host events outside the shop, but setting is really doesn't allow and also landlords and stuff like that, but in terms of collaborating with new brands, Tina, we've always been open to work with other brands. It's called print up imbahla zabo and stuff like that, but we haven't received any proposals abantu abafuna ubeka izinto zabo apha ne. And we also do work with artists. We do work with artists, but this kakutina really like artists that has supported us before. We don't want to give you artist that has never bought any item from us, because like I feel like usebenzisane nomuntu that actually appreciates your brand, unganiki umuntu that actually would just wear your stuff and not even create content for us, ikhona ne-artist enkulu ngokublanga mazimela, he's a national artist, he's a DJ also with the Afro House and also working with the House Guru, and bakhona nabanye sebenzisana nabo, but Lega Blanga is still in the talks, so I'm just trying to push, man, and Babi and Shilo, Tina, we don't believe in just so even now they love to buy stuff and create some sort of discounts for them in the shoot, we then support them t-shirts and whatever for free and stuff like that, and zininzi artists are good is funny is keeper for whatever course bafuna uyenza ne, but zine zinjalo, and nathi we're not really a big brand, so just giving out clothes for us better in the long run, also like we prove it now the value, like the return on investment esinika ku imbahla zakho, so it's based on that, but anyone can message me or message us with Blvck Africa and see what we can do.
Okay. To all the artists out there in the Ville, Blvck Africa is open. But nasebenzisana, if you're a DJ, if you're an artist, you can come, pitch deal yakho, so yavuya ukuva like open to ba ningasebenza nabanye abantu, I do know of Blvck mazimela, so nisebenza nayo Blvck.
We just started the talks now, but khona into ezoba during this festive season now.
Okay. That's dope. Okay, so ndiyakuva bra. So apha kwisitore sakho ni-observer, you also do have other brands, so ngicela ubuza ke ngoku what kanye manibeka solo mbuzo, what brands inspired you, kanye which brands inspired you, or which brands you think wena in the next few years you're going to compete on the same level with,
So like I've always been inspired, especially as the brands I search over, one of those brands were Ikex Boy. It's not very popular, but I know it was very popular at some point. Oh yes, Ikex Boy.
Maybe it's popular sub.
Dog. Right now, brand ambassador was the less, also Major Leagues.
Oh, okay.
Galaxy Boy or but but it's called Expo. Yeah.
I'm sure if I've seen.
Yeah, it's very dope. Yeah, it was one of his brands like I inspired. Even now, I still take inspiration from Borneo. And I remember also the popular brands back then was Keep. It was still starting out. Yeah, it was one of those brands, man. But I feel like apha Cape Town's not disadvantaged because we don't have a lot of artists roaming around the streets here, bro. We show me artist, yeah, bro. And there's a lot of influential people in Joburg, so which is the brands I could get easier recognition, like with music videos and stuff like that, yeah, bro. So brands in general, I'm really not interested because in your brands, even a thesis we. Yes, this
Maybe I might know the design, bro.
Yeah, thesis, was I saw Born and then I started looking Bungabone Isto as the actual dream shop I want. Yeah. Even now, back in 2016, before I had a shop, I downloaded this application that Fagui Drive and sent us like inspiration as a shop, and that was the inspiration behind the shop, like the wooden things. Yeah. So this was one of as our brands we really looked up to. Yeah. Even now, yeah. So this is Expo. I'm a keep. And right now, I'm a closer, but I'm a closer is, I wouldn't say it's a streetwear brand. Yeah. Yeah, it's very like. Yeah, it's very designy, it's very, it's anjalo. Ezinye, yeah, I think there's of brands on top of mine. I'm sure there's a lot of brands, we call it ezinye proxy, but those are these jonga for. I'm really not interested in them, but indlela designing and how they operate, I study those ones.
Yeah, I do know of Proxy because there's this other guy on Facebook, a friend yakhe. So bayiqala ngwase Pretoria ne. Bayiqala as students, be group, yabo. So Proxy mazi kanjalo. Yeah, so yeah. I do know of Proxy, yeah. So yeah, inspirations zakho nami, inspirations zabo, yabo. Makhosa, keep. Yeah, we used to go crazy over keep. Yo as abantwana, yabo. Yeah, so yeah. So again, for the season, which is December, do you have any new releases at the shop or item entsha efikayo njalo?
Yeah, so now we're doing, it's actually a different type of what you call it, printing, It's called dye to fabric, So we're doing very colorful stuff. So before we were really doing just silhouettes where it's just one color printing, mostly isn't njalo, but now we're starting off doing very colorful stuff. Skoni's keep as inches pumileyo, and there's going to be more coming out in a few weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I also saw his skipper apha. This other time, he's at the shop. It's mhlophe, like an oversized tee. Nazo is it part of? Is izinja ne?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was born, it's very. It designs is very colorful.
Okay. No, I'm looking forward to that, Puta, man. I'm looking forward to that. And what people can look out for, only like what's next, Blvck Africa. Ingaba mhlawumbe sibetha ebusweni like sothuke yo kasilindele from Blvck Africa lewe. So what's next? Silindele ntoni in future or in a near future or kuminyaka ezayo yabo. Elandelayo.
Yeah, it's really about growing a brand. So, as I said, you're going to relaunch a website here today. Maybe do a lot of pop-ups in the coming months or whatever. Because the pop-ups, like go to festivals, go to Indonesia. So really trying to get it with some space. And also in town, Indonesia, about first Thursdays, you're alone. In markets and stuff like that. So, it's really about expanding our reach, because I feel like even can you born it down just randomly in the town, you just see imbahla it. Even I say Eastern Cape or whatnot, So I think we've grown, but as established cool in terms of city, as I said, knockoffs. People do come, but of new knockoffs up, so stuff like that,
Okay. No, Bram. You pick up a life from the but you, as a brand, you have grown, yabo. And the alone, you have grown, yabo. As I've been said before, interview about is a game changers, yabo. Yabo. Ningabazali be bar because you guys raised the bar, yabo. Evala bar. Evala bar. Yabo, no one from Ngoma, bra, because as Tinaban, Ulucha la Strand, yabo. Nisbonus umzekelo, ba. You can start, like from ground up. And you can own like a physical store, you can own an online store. Ibrand yakho ungayipush like to other communities. Ingapheleli nje apha yazi beyibrand lapha yabo. So ndiqinisekile njengokuba nawe ubu-inspired by ezinye brands nabo bakhona abantwana ba-inspired by nguwe yabo, including nam yabo, also inspired by uhlobo endimuva ngalo nohlobo endikhule ngalo over the years yabo. So ndifuna nje uncoma as digital first podcast yabo, size ngozoku-interviewa sive istori sakho, but eyona nto sifuna uyenza kuncoma yabo umsebenzi eniwenzayo apha elanukeni kwishop yenu na-for ibrand yenu yabo. So sifuna unikhuthaza uba niqhubekeke bra, nenze izinto ezintle, nikhulise ibrand yenu so that igeneration ezizayo zizobona ukuba babeyenzile tasiya le way. Yintoni ezabangela uba singabi naso store, yintoni ezabangela uba singabi nayo into ethile yabo, so that bazokhompyutha like kwi-levels ezifana noba babe nezitores kwi-centers ezinkulu njalo njalo yabo. So ngolu hlobo niqalile like i-steps soqala for i-community uba ibone uba it's possible as way yabo. So so ingaba khona amazwi ogqibela for i-audience pha baxelele mhlawumbi what to look out for, if ufuna babulele amazwi ogqibela.
Man, bolela nani magenge man, because the podcast, even if ngokungati popular, it's still very, say into esakhulayo ne, and none like mhlambi you do inspire more abanye amajita afuna uqala i-podcast yabo. And nathi man, Tina, that's open, like I'm very open now in helping abanye abantu, especially if ufuna uqala i-brand yakho. More brands because it means more competition for us, means and also we stay on our toes, yabo. Sihlale si produce the freshest stuff, yabo. So like nabantu bafunuzo bazofunda how to do brands zabo, mhlawumbe bafuna usebenzisa our services, siyabanceda nakanjalo. And nani like nathi apha shop like isenda ivalwa at maybe 7:30. So nani if khona episodes ezinye ndifuna ushutela like from 6 to 7, we're very open up ever. So man, communities are more grow, and the more abantu banemali apha elokishini, the more nathi sifumana customers. So why would Tina see stop another black child trying to improve the situation yakhe yabo? So kuyo yonke like even if une organization, even if une NGO, whatnot, if there's any advice or whatever, you don't want to make the same mistakes as Zenzayo. So at least I would say, okay, we did these mistakes and whatnot, because we do also have a banyabantu that we go find help in, but okay, in terms of printing in the long run, so it's all about just building each other. Like the competition is very healthy for us in terms of, but there's a lot of more brands, there's a lot of more podcasts, there's a lot of more NGOs or whatever production, especially from a youth yalapha. Yeah.
Okay. This has been the first digital podcast. We are live at the Nomzamo Business Center at the Blvck Africa clothing store. If you find the item, you can always walk in, uzabuka nobuka, save imali yakho, usithengele khona shorty, khona golf tees, every type of clothing, khona menqwazi, khona ngekhoyo yabo. So you can walk in ubuke yabo. So this has been the first digital podcast, and we're out.
That's a wrap.